It's for you to be mine. Torture myself for long or feel fine. Too short.
Hello, it's me, just giving a wee introduction to this podcast episode. It's taken me ages to actually get this posted. And I would say that there's several reasons for this. One being that I have the worst case of ADHD, procrastination and issues with focus. And I'm just going to use that reason because that is a reason. It's not an excuse. It's just, I think a lot of creatives do have this problem. And that is my problem, unfortunately. And yeah, it's not just recording the podcast, it's editing it, which takes me ages to actually sit down and do. And unfortunately, I don't really have a budget for this podcast to be paying someone else to do that. And just a lack of time. I mean, normal life just gets in the way, doesn't it? When you don't have the money to be able to just sit down and do the things that you want to do. So, here we are. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But, I've seen this through to the end. This is such a good podcast episode, in my opinion. I have independent folk artist Walter Kocays on this episode as my guest, and yeah, he's got a lot to say about the industry, his experience in the music industry and as an independent artist. And yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but hopefully you'll listen right through to the end and you'll hear everything that he's got to say. You'll have heard in the introduction his newest track, Explicitly I've Told, and he has just performed his first Glastonbury. Wow, jealous. By the way, that is my next goal, but let's not make this about me. I'm not the main character in this podcast episode. I am. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this episode, and hopefully it won't be as long for the next one. I have faith in myself that it won't take as long, and I hope you have faith too. I've got some other great guests lined up for future episodes, so it's all a bit exciting. I just need to find how to be more consistent, how to edit quicker. I think I'm getting there, and just hopefully I'll be able to then just keep them coming. Anyway, stay safe out there and enjoy. So, third episode of my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
How not to be an artist. Hopefully you don't take offence to that.
Well, considering you only just told me what it was called, I feel like I should maybe take offence.
Yeah, well,
or you thought I would take offence and not come.
Yeah, that was it. I had to bring you in and then be like, by the way, this is like me telling people how not to be an artist.
Yeah.
Walter Kocays, thank you for coming along.
Pleasure, man.
AKA Caleb, in case I name you by that.
That's fine.
Your actual
I've been
name.
called worse.
Oh, yeah, I bet you have.
Caleb is my actual name.
So yeah, just gonna chat a bit about you and your music life and everything. Yeah, hopefully some people can learn from it, take something from it.
I'm sure they can.
So firstly, an easy one. When did you get into music? How did you start? What's your background with that?
I have always been an avid music fan from day dot, as far back as I can remember. My formative years of music is me and my dad's iPod Classic. That's where I formed my roots in terms of influences and what I grew up listening to. So that was the bands that an artist that stand out to me from that is like Nirvana, The Jam, a lot of like noughties, indie, like The Enemy, and who else was there? There's a band called Morning Runner, who were great. They only did one album in like 2006. But did you know the theme tune for In-Betweeners? That's by Morning Runner.
Oh,
It's a great album, you should listen to it.
Right.
And also Stephen Fretwell, his song Run is the theme tune for Gavin and Stacey. But I was obviously listening to it before that.
Yeah, obviously.
It came out in 2004, and that's when I started listening to it, when I was 6 years old.
6.
Yeah. So yeah, I owe a lot to my dad in terms of my musical influences and inspirations, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then I got a guitar bought for me at about 8, but I liked the idea of it more than actually playing it until I was about 12 or 13, and my mates was starting a band, but I couldn't really play anything, but I really wanted to be in the band out of FOMO, really. And I was just like, can I join the band? They're like, yeah, you can go on bass, and I just was like, all right, yeah. I didn't really know what a bass was.
You just wanted to be there
Yeah.
and take part.
Yeah, yeah, basically. And then from there, I played in that band throughout the rest of my school years, and then I was in a band called Release. We were like punk sort of influenced. Melodic punk, we like to call it at the time, which sounds quite pretentious, but it's sort of like when you're at that stage in life and you're in a band, I feel like a lot of people don't like saying that they're a genre. It's like, oh yeah, we're just a bit of everything.
That's like me. You just want to be like the one of the only.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And then from that, I was in a band called Look Busy, which was a sort of spoken word rap style electronic rock trio.
Cool.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of them, actually. And then from there, I went solo, man.
Man.
And I got into like a lot of folk and really went back to my roots in terms of Stephen Fretwell, and also another influence of mine from when I was younger was Neil Young, and I really got back into that sort of just guitar and vocal folk acoustic genre, and I'd never actually played guitar and sung on stage before at the same time. So that was a new challenge for me, and there formed the Walter Kocays project.
Nice.
And here we are now.
Here we are. What do you think? Was there anything? Was it just like one day you went, do you know what, I'm going to go into like a folk style, or was it just a gradual thing? Was there anything that like...
It derived from... I really fell out of love of what I was doing with Look Busy at the time. And I think what contributed towards that was lockdown, and made a lot of people question a lot of different things. And then I had a really tough period in regards to my mental health. I turned... What's it called when you don't like going outside the house?
Oh, like agoraphobic?
Yeah. I was very like agoraphobic.
Yeah.
Couldn't even fucking look up a lot of the time. Like I just had I sat doing crosswords.
Like a little old man.
Yeah. Oh, I still do crosswords, to be honest. I'm an old soul, it's been said.
Yeah.
I'm an old soul. And from that I'd lost a lot of confidence, and but I still wanted to. I still had these aspirations of being a successful musician. So I tried to stay creative, like a friend of mine told me to, and even on the days where I didn't want to. And from there, I was just like learning old covers of songs that I love, like Stephen Fretwell's tracks and Neil Young's tracks, and another artist, Badly Drawn Boy, which is all comforts to me. They're all comfort artists, and I think I find a lot of comfort in folk and
me too.
and acoustic music, because it's just beautiful, like, and it's innocent, it's simple, but there's so much beauty in those simplicities, and also